So we have hit a very, very strange point in gaming history where it feels like there are two very separate, very distinct camps when it comes to the enjoyment of video games and looking for projects or experiences that you want to get into. And the strange thing about that is the camps are Camp A, gamers who enjoy games, want to have good games, and that's it. And Camp B, bigots. Just bigots. Very simply, people who don't really care about video games, it feels, but just want to express their hateful rhetoric and permeate it all across the internet and the globe and just annoy as many people as they can with their bullshit. So in relation to that, I wanted to look at these two websites, as it were, that were created by those bigots to kind of give themselves or their group a way of differentiating themselves and finding those games that are more in line with their poisonous bigotry. The two things are this woke content detector, and it's a curated list of games. There's, I believe, 1,459 games on the list, and it basically goes through and determines if the game is recommended or not recommended. And then there's also the informational category based on if the game has woke content or not. And the second is the Steam woke content curator. I don't know if they're entirely separate or if they pull from the same information, but I want to look at both to kind of get an idea about how far this epidemic has gone and how much we're dealing with the next generation of imbeciles in the gaming community. So what I want to do with this woke content detector, the curated list, I want to look at some of the most popular releases of all time and see if they are on this list, one, and two, for what reasons it has been determined by these troglodytes that these games are quote unquote woke. And before I even get into any of that, I want you guys in the future, if you engage with these people online, because they don't exist in real life, because they're all pathetic, sniveling cowards, but online, ask them to define woke for you. And I promise you, they never have a real answer, because if it came down to it, what they would have to say is anything that is not heterosexual and white. So let's look at this woke content detector and see what they have on here. Already starting off, Elden Ring made the list, and the reasoning for that is contains overtly pro-LGBTQ+ messaging and uses body type in place of biological sex during character creation. So this has become a talking point for these idiots. What they are upset at in a lot of video games is the moving over from when you used to create a character in games, they would typically say male or female body type. And a lot of games still do that, but in an effort for these creators or developers to be more inclusive, they've changed the body type from male and female to body type 1 or body type 2 or body type A and body type B, just to kind of give you an idea, okay, these are the representations that may be in line with this body type. Overall, I even think that's pretty silly. I think saying male or female is perfectly fine because we understand what that means, and it's just basic understanding for most people in the world that if you say it's a male body type, it's going to be typically in character creator more burly, it won't have breasts, and it won't have female genitalia. And female will probably have breasts, it'll be a more slender body type, it'll be smaller, and it'll have female genitalia. It's simple and understand, but a lot of games have moved to body type A and body type B. So for them, that just automatically makes the game not recommend. It doesn't matter how good the rest of the game is. That point in the game, imagine Elden Ring, a game where I would say for the average gamer, you probably are going to spend 50 hours, minimum on your first playthrough. So out of that 50 hours, the first 10 minutes for them is enough for that's it. Don't play the game anymore. And these are the games that are listed on the top 10. I don't think that this list is ordered in terms of the worst. I think it's kind of just a vague order. But even games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 contains overtly pro-LGBTQ images, multiple pride flag calling cards and emblems. That isn't even as bad as I've seen. Some of these have just the presence of rainbows in the game automatically makes it a not recommend. But you have other games like Red Dead Redemption 2, which is on the informational list, which I basically understand it to be sort of their version of a yellow light, like slow down, don't dive deep. You might see a black person by accident, but for Red Dead Redemption 2, theirs is contains subtly pro-DEI messaging. Several minor characters espouse modern-day political sentiments. As an example, the NPC Sadie Adler behaves the same way a modern-day feminist would. If you don't know anything about Red Dead Redemption 2, Sadie Adler is basically just a strong-willed woman in the video game. What they're saying is, historically, women just became strong-willed. There has never ever in the history of ever been a strong-willed woman. That happened after the year 2000. Y2K happened, and then women developed a brain immediately. And you can really just scroll through. I really want to see the ones that are recommended. I'm curious to see. Let's go to the top of the list and see what exactly made the recommended list here. So The Witcher 2, Sekiro contains no woke content. So that's basically just recommended. Contains no woke content, contains no woke content. They don't really have any full breakdowns as to why. So I imagine the not recommended is more interesting because you see more of an explanation for it, or the informational. Let's see what else said informational. The Witcher 3 contains subtly pro-LGBTQ messaging. Several minor characters provide exposition regarding their experiences as homosexual individuals. This exposition includes light social commentary. So to them, people talking about their life, if they're gay, is automatically woke. And like I said, in their perfect world, all video games ever in the history of ever would only be white, heterosexual. Just the mention of their lives as a gay person in the game is enough for it to be woke. I'm scrolling through this because I want to find something that I wouldn't expect to be considered woke to be on this list. Ooh, Yakuza Like a Dragon contains subtly pro-LGBTQ messaging. A party chat titled Gender Politics provides lighthearted social commentary on gender discrimination. Look at that. Just talking about, if you've experienced bad things in your life, that's automatically woke content to them. What I'm trying to think of a game that has mentions of slavery and see if they're mad that slavery is depicted in a negative light. I can't think of any game that has regular mentions of slavery. You know, it's probably not listed on this woke list and is on the recommended list. It's Kingdom Come Deliverance, because I know that game got a lot of flack for not allowing you, I think, to play as a non-white character. If I'm remembering correctly, I could, oh, this is alphabetical order? Okay, perfect. No, it isn't. Is there a way to sort by alphabetical order? Or maybe I can control F. Kingdom. Yep, I was right. Kingdom Come Deliverance contains no woke content. Brilliant. You love to see it. These are very normal people, not at all weird. But I'm gonna put a link to this in the description because I want you guys to go through and see the level of mental illness that is permeating our hobby. And it's disappointing because there's such a loud vocal minority, and unfortunately their nonsense even spreads over to the regular gamers, because since they're so loud, a lot of the time in the noise it gets mixed up that they aren't complaining about the quality of a video game, they're just complaining about basic nonsense. You've seen it with the Assassin's Creed Shadows backlash. People are already skeptical because it's a Ubisoft game and it's an Assassin's Creed game. Both a company that has been having issues historically and a franchise that's been having issues historically. And instead of looking at the game itself and determining, is this going to be an experience that I'm going to enjoy, and have they made any changes that I believe will be conducive of a great game and great gaming experience, the noise of the "it's woke" being yelled out is getting mixed in and is going to negatively impact the game even more, because now gamers are going to be confused because they won't understand, are people not playing this and not recommending this because it's bad, or are they racist? And moving over into the Steam curator, you face a lot of the same issues. They have a lot of the most popular games on this list as well. A huge game like Ghost of Tsushima is over here listed as not recommended due to contains overtly pro-LGBTQ+ and overtly pro-DEI messaging, features multiple LGBTQ+ NPCs with the player character responding with modern-day sentiments, many female frontline combatants and leaders. Absurd. There have been historical female leaders across all of history and every culture, and modern sentiments aren't modern sentiments because they just exist now. They're just more popular now. But there is nothing new under the sun. There have always been people with different beliefs. Another great game like Deus Ex Mankind Divided. This one has the same standard fare of pro-LGBTQ messaging, but then it also says the minor NPC Shadow Child is a lesbian. That's it. There's a read full review here. I'm curious. I did not know there was more. Oh, the rest of the game is free of messaging. Okay, so that's about as far as they go. Serious Sam is recommended. Max Payne 3 is recommended. Let's try to think of a game that may be on the recommended list. And I'm going to go back to this chart because it's a little bit easier to navigate because it's so clean. And see if we can find one that perhaps should, according to their own criteria, be on the not recommended list. So I'm looking here, Fighter Z. Sparking Zero already made it. Coming soon. I guess they have foresight. They know if it's woke or not. I'm trying to think of a game that I've played on here that I know they should have a problem with. Putt-putt? These golf games? Jeez. That's how bad it is. Golf games have to be on the not woke list. Half-Life? Isn't Alex biracial? Is that not DEI messaging to these people? Okay. I'm trying to see something that I know for sure probably has something. Phantom Star. Zup. What are these weird games they have on here? Bejeweled. Okay, so for a game not to be woke to them, it has to be a fucking 2003 T-Mobile game that comes with your flip phone. I'm not seeing anything at all because all these games are so random. So all the main games are automatically woke, I guess, because of the elites or whatever the fuck these people's problem is going to be. I'm surprised Civ isn't on the woke list for having different cultures represented in the game. You would think that would automatically be woke. I feel like Mafia 2 had a black protagonist. Is that not woke automatically to them? Okay, I can't see anything on the recommended list that is significantly that I would think probably. I think Xenoverse has characters listed as body type 1 and 2, but I could be wrong. I could be misremembering. Do they have any NBA games? Is that woke? Too many black people? NBA, no matches. Okay, that's on the recommended. Let's see not recommended. NBA, 1 of 1. Venba. Okay. They're like, no, we already know that's too woke because of all the Okay, this is just the 2K games. Got it. What the fuck? Hold on. As I was about to end the video, I just looked over at this statement. Colombia's residents are hyper-exaggerated racist caricatures of 19th century Americans. Apparently nobody was hyper-racist in 19th century America. Heavy social commentary on racism. Okay, so I was right about to give them the benefit of the doubt based on what I was seeing, but no, they do also hate when racism is criticized too heavily. But this is, as I was saying, what the fuck? I can't even end this video. Contains, this is Forspoken, a game that I actually like, no one else does though. Contains overtly pro-DEI messaging, which is bizarre, because I've played through the entirety of this game. Almost all prominent characters interact with in NYC are POC. New York City has too many POC? Has this person been to New York City? The same diversity seen in New York City is also seen in Athia. Yeah, the made-up land in the video game is too diverse. You see how degenerate these people are. You can literally make up a fantasy land that is diverse, and that's still a problem with them. They don't just get mad at regular history being somehow infected with DEI and woke politics. Even when you create a story, it's too much. It's sick. These people are sick, and I advise you to ignore them. People like the Quarter Pounder with Cheese on YouTube, all these other imbeciles, just ignore them, because they're all sad little fucks. Thanks for watching. Behave yourself.